football fans. Ladies and gentlemen, we just had our first Sunday of full NFL games. Football is back. This is Off the Gridiron, produced by Apollo Media. I am your host, Stone Strankman. I am here with my guys, Noah Outlaw and Garrett Harrelson.
What's going
Football
on?
boys, how are we feeling?
Oh, we're feeling fulfilled.
I'm kind of now sad that it's almost over. Week one is like it's a
Yeah.
beautiful weekend.
It is.
It's I'm anticipating it all year long, and then it ends just like that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we only have one more game, and it's like
Very
damn,
abrupt.
man.
Yeah, then you got to wait till, I guess we only have to wait till Thursday, really. But, that Sunday is what you were waiting on, too. So you
Yeah.
got to wait a whole week.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's just nice to have it back. Yesterday was a blast. Lots of shocking, turn of events.
Some upsets.
Yeah.
Some big performances from certain players. We'll
Yeah.
all get into it,
I
but
know.
it was a good weekend.
It was
a
a-
good
it was
week.
a-
It's
it was
been
a
a
good
good weekend
Sunday.
of football so far.
Yeah, it was a blast, and typically I'm at home. I'm with my parents watching Miami Dolphins football and all that. But this weekend I'm in sunny Seaside, Florida, on a little
All right.
vacation out here.
Oh,
So
right.
the
But
vibes
you're
are
in-
great. The white sand. I'm in Florida, 9 hours away from Miami, so not that close. Florida's pretty big, turns out.
Did you get
Um,
there and realize that Miami's actually playing in Los Angeles, and you were like, oh damn.
Oh, dang.
Dang, dude! I was here for the wrong weekend.
Not really, because I'm going to Miami in 2 weeks and watch the
Oh.
Broncos Dolphins game. So I
Well.
know my schedule.
Oh,
you
is,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Week three's
I'm
week three's
prepared.
y'all's home opener, right?
It is.
All right, cool.
Damn,
So,
kicking off the season with 2 away games. That's tough.
not great. One of them's a primetime against the Patriots, but that'll be previewed later this week on Off the Gridiron. But
Sure will.
let's get into Thursday night. A little surprise game to lead off the season. The Chiefs unveiled their third Super Bowl banner on top of their stadium, and
Yeah, they did. They
the
certainly
vibes were vibing in Arrowhead before the game. During the game, a little bit as well. But Patrick Mahomes, do you need me to come run some routes and try to catch some
Yeah.
balls? I think we all three have better hands than every receiver on the Chiefs right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty piss poor. It was a pretty piss poor offensive performance from that whole receiving core and tight ends outside of Travis, who wasn't playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was honestly more about the Lions than the Chiefs because, man, the Lions showed up. They showed up, and I was saying before, they needed this game to vault themselves in that conversation for me personally of like, are you actually good? Like, are you good? You can beat good teams. They did that. They beat a good team. So good for them.
Yeah. All offseason, I've been pumping up the Lions and also this game. I wasn't a brave enough man to put like my money on the Lions. But going into that game, a lot of people were like, well, the Chiefs are going to win. Chiefs, obviously. And I was kind of like, look, don't be shocked if the Lions sneak a win out here. They're a really good team. Jared Goff's a top 10 guy, maybe even more. I think he's bumping into that top 8, top 7 quarterback in the league. I think he's getting close to that conversation. And this showed it. Dan Campbell is the man. Jared Goff's the man. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think, is due for a huge, huge year. And I just loved everything I saw from the Lions. And also, you're so right. The Chiefs, they need Kelsey on that field. They have to. And he's playing next week. He'll be out there.
They might need someone other
Yeah.
than Kelsey as well. They might need to make a trade at the deadline for a guy or something.
Dude,
I mean,
apparently they didn't want Hopkins. He was getting interviewed the other day. He reached out. They were like, we don't want you. We don't need you.
it's kind
Kind of man.
of crazy because I mean, if Kelsey gets injured again or he just has a bad game against maybe a good team, that could be just a loss right there. That could be an automatic L
Yeah.
if they can't spread the ball around.
Of
You
course.
know? So it's something to be monitoring. I feel like for sure.
Kadarius Toney, it's time to like better learn Chinese, buddy. You know what I mean? Like it's we're wrapping up.
Better learn Canadian.
Yeah, better learn Canadian, bud,
Yeah.
because it's bad. That was awful. But also, like I said, I don't want to talk about the Chiefs as much as I do want to talk about how good the Lions.
Yeah,
were.
that's why I said like I really want this to be about the Lions, not the Chiefs being
Yeah.
bad. Because
Yeah.
Lions came in prepared. They're a well coached machine right now.
Mhm.
And fantasy owners across the globe are just complaining about Jahmyr Gibbs' touches because I don't know how many touches he had, but every time he touched the ball, it was like 8 to 15 yards, a broken
Yeah.
tackle.
Yeah.
He was electric, and they just were like,
He's a
we're not going to give you the
playmaker.
ball.
He's a
And that's
playmaker
fantasy
for sure.
football talk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He-
so he looks electric. The offense looks good. Obviously, the defense was good. If you hold the Chiefs to 20 points, 2 touchdowns, 2 field
Just wait
goals,
till
like, you're
Just
doing
until
well.
JMO comes back,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and
When
James
JMO
Conner.
comes back, like that's going to be a deadly offense.
This is also interesting too because everyone was taking Jahmyr Gibbs pretty fucking high in fantasy this year, and I did
First round.
not understand it. I didn't understand it at all. Not that he's not going to have a good season, but he's still a guy that we don't know how they're planning on using him. And they also David Montgomery. Like I'm not shocked that I thought he was going to get more touches than he did. But these people taking him super high in fantasy and now are complaining. I'm like, you didn't. He's never.
I mean, it
played
was week
down of-
one. I mean,
Yeah.
rookie running backs usually don't get
Yeah.
a lot of touches
Exactly.
week
Yeah,
one.
I think he's going to have a fine year, but like everyone's complaining about his workload, and I'm like, why are we surprised? He's never played a down of football in the NFL. It's not. They're not going to throw him into the fire week one, especially when you have David Montgomery, who's been in the league longer, in front of him. It's just I don't get the shock.
Yeah, it was interesting, but Lions, hell of a game on the road, opening game of the NFL season. Dan Campbell, coach of the year, beating the defending Super Bowl champions. The Lions are for real.
Very.
I think you can say that after this game, and that over what it was it 9.5 on their over under. I think that's obviously in reach. When you win a big one like this,
Mm-hmm.
you're cruising.
Yep.
You're cruising. All right, so we'll just start getting into the stuff, nitty gritty here. The Sunday afternoon, the Sunday early slate. Let's get into the early slate. A lot of overall. I thought this was very lackluster.
Yeah,
There
was
was
my
a
least
couple of
favorite.
there was a few close games, but they were gross and they weren't like necessarily fun to watch or fun teams.
Yeah.
We'll just start running through them. So Falcons versus Panthers. Bryce Young, number 1 overall pick. Bijan Robinson, their first round pick for the Falcons. I wrote down yuck next to it. Bryce Young just got hammered. Offensive line stinks. Offensive line stinks.
Yeah, Bryce Young. It doesn't help that the fact that he is his size, because it's just harder to have pocket presence or have a poison pocket if you're 5'9" or something like that. It's gonna be tough for him if they don't fix up their shit up front. It's gonna be a tough year for him, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked about what I saw from Bryce. He threw a touchdown. He threw a pick. He got hammered. They put up 10 points of offense.
I believe he threw 2 picks.
Did he throw
He threw
2?
two, both Jesse Bates.
Yeah. In the Falcons, Bijan looked good. I want to talk about that. I mean, go Bijan. First NFL touchdown. Big deal. Good play, too. Desmond Ridder looked kind of like Desmond Ridder to me. He just kind of looked like he's kind of just there and letting the people around him do the job. But you can't argue they put up 24 points. No matter how they got it done, they still did, and they won the game. So I don't hate the Falcons.
That's exactly how you're going to be able to win this division, by the way, is win the games that you're supposed to win.
Yeah,
Not saying that the Falcons are going to win it, but if they do have like a outside chance, that's exactly the games they need to win to get them
And
closer to winning that division.
Tony Algier, 2 touchdowns, best running back in the nation. And he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Best running back on the team, some would say.
Yeah.
Hope not.
Well,
Probably not.
I know Off the Gridiron Apollo Texans is coming out later today. We'll just go ahead and quickly gloss over it since you're going to talk more of it. So if you want to hear more about the Texans stuff, go hit that episode up. It's going to come up right before this one, I believe. So Ravens versus Texans, 25-9. Texans look good in the first half. Defense looks like a defense for the most part. Offense, not great.
Offensive line doesn't look like an offensive line. And like you said, we'll talk about it more later, but that was a struggle in the trenches. That was a struggle. Now, CJ Stroud starting the game way better than Davis Mills starting the game. Let's get that away right now. Davis Mills would have been sacked a billion times.
Yeah,
he
not
would have
great.
thrown 3 interceptions. CJ Stroud had some spark in him, so it was fun. It was fun to watch. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into it really much at all. Come watch the Texans pod later today. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. You're right though. Offensive line, we got to get healthy up front. That's really the key of it.
Yep.
But from a non-Texans fan perspective, the defense looked like it was well coached. Petrie got hurt, had to go to the hospital, but it looks like he's going to be all right.
Yeah.
And sucks for J.K. Dobbins because he just came back from injury and he tore his Achilles, so he's out for the season.
Yeah.
Big blow to the Ravens, but
It's huge.
they got weapons on the wide receivers now. So, and Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers looks
deal.
good, man.
Real deal. So good for Lamar Jackson. They got some weapons. Sitting pretty. They won a game. That's how you want to start the season if you're the Ravens. So they did what they needed to do, and the Texans had a decent showing on defense, and you can take away that as a win.
Absolutely.
Another AFC North little battle here. The Browns and Bengals. Browns beat up on them 24-3. I wrote down WTF, yuck.
Absolutely fuck this game. This game is the reason I lost both of my leagues because of I don't know. I didn't really watch the highlights because I don't know. I just didn't want to. I don't know if this was more about the Browns defense dominating or the Bengals offense just like what the fuck happened. I don't really know, but that is weird to see Joe Burrow not throwing for 4 million yards. You know, he threw for 80. So it's now that he's the highest paid player in the NFL, it's a little weird. Joe Burrow, you're under surveillance.
Yeah. This game's weird, obviously, but here's the deal. This is one thing I've been saying all offseason. The Browns are not a bad team. They're actually a good team. They might be a really good team. They could be. They have the potential to be a really good team. Coming out, making a statement win over the Bengals. But here's the deal. Bengals fans, don't freak out. Joe did this last year. Joe threw like 4 picks week 1 last year. He doesn't play in the preseason. Also, coming off of this preseason, he was hurt. He couldn't be, even if they wanted to play him, he couldn't. He suffered an injury like the 3rd day of training camp. It's okay. He's got to get his feet back under him. He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Jamar Chase is going to be fine. Everything's okay in Cincy. I'm not worried about it. But here's the deal. The Browns are a good team. The Browns have hella weapons, and they showed it. They showed what they can do. So I'm shocked it was the Browns won as much as they did, but I'm not shocked that the Browns win and got a win, especially playing in Cleveland. But Burrow's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, the Browns defense looked great. They've got a great offensive line, which just took a hit. Jack Conklin out for the season, torn ACL. Nick Chubb's great. Number 4 didn't look very good. Nasty Man, but
yeah,
Nasty Man did not look great.
You can get away with it with that defense and that running game, and then throwing to Amari Cooper, etc. Yep. So Browns looked arguably better than expected, but their defense looked as expected, I think, as advertised. Their defense is nuts. Let's go to the AFC South. A little Jaguars Colts. Jags snuck away with the win, 31-21.
Fun game.
I wrote down
fun game.
I wrote down Colts not bad? Question mark.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson kind of bad, but also kind of awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's what we expected out of him this rookie season is kind of bad, but kind of awesome. Like he's going to make those crazy electric game-changing plays, but then just make 5 straight bad throws. And it's going to be like, oh, well, I mean, there's a balance right now of him being bad and good. So
yeah,
I think
he missed 5 to 8 throws, just sailed them over the wide receiver, but he's also like nailing throws and getting these runs in and ran in for the first touchdown. You know, there's just like it's something there. I liked it.
There is something.
Hate it. They should definitely trade Jonathan Taylor to the Dolphins, though. That's all I know.
He looks confident. Like he looks like he's like, oh, I belong here, dude. I belong here. And I mean, honestly, every rookie quarterback didn't look not confident, but he looked like the most confident out of all of them. The way he was making those throws and runs, and the way he was, poised.
Welcome back, Calvin Ridley.
Welcome back, Calvin Ridley. He looks fucking good. You know what? Another reason why I lost this week.
So. Yeah. I got that. We played each other in fantasy this week. I don't know if you know, but I had that Trevor Lawrence, Calvin Ridley connection. And Trevor Lawrence kind of had a whatever day, honestly. A couple lost fumbles and a pick, but Calvin was a big dog. Also, I do want to touch on Anthony Richardson real quick. I've been nervous about him being in the AFC South. I'm nervous for him being a Colt. I am. I have been since they drafted him. I was hoping they wouldn't. They did. He looks good. And like the thing about sailing passes over receivers' heads, stuff like that, yeah, for sure. Stroud did the same thing. Bryce did the same thing. Those are 2 guys that apparently have way better arm talent than him. But it's all of their first game that's going to happen. But if Anthony Richardson is able to fix those accuracy issues, we're fucked. Like, not fucked, but as a Texans fan, I'm very, very scared of what he can do.
This defense is going to shit on Anthony Richardson next week. I don't care.
Maybe next week, but I'm saying as he matures into a player over time, where there's gonna be some battles there, and so
it's very much Cam Newton rookie season vibes because he did the same thing. He just has so much arm talent, where it's just Josh Allen. Same thing. It took him 3 years to figure it out. His arm's too good.
Yeah,
and he still does it time to time. So it may take a couple of years for Anthony Richardson to figure out the arm accuracy, but he's talented as hell, and I expect him to ball out a lot, especially in this division.
Yeah.
And that's got to be terrifying as Texans fans that you have another freak athlete in the division that you have to play twice a year. Not great.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they just keep putting them in this division, and it's getting ridiculous.
Let's move to another gross game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Minnesota Vikings. Justin Jefferson looked every bit as what he did last year. He had over 20 yards in the first half. The Bucks, they won the game 20-17. Baker.
Hey, listen, I'm a Baker truther, dude. I've been a Baker guy since OU. Oh, I love Baker. I fucking love Baker, dude. I don't care that he was grabbing his nuts and shit like that and planting flags. I think that's fucking funny, dude. Fuck college. I don't care. But he got turned on by the Browns, of course, because the Browns are just a trash franchise and they turn on all their quarterbacks and they never give him a fair chance. And I'm happy to see him back with a team that's kind of rallying around him and like honestly like propping him up and being like, fuck yeah, this is our guy. Fucking badass.
Look, man, I'm a diehard UT fan. Hate OU with a passion. Hated Baker Mayfield in college. Wasn't a fan of him at all in Cleveland. I didn't like him there. I didn't ever think he was that good in Cleveland. I thought he was way overrated. Like people were talking about him like he was some dog. I don't think he ever was there. You're right though. But then the whole nasty man situation where they bring him in, give him all that money, dump Baker, kind of made me feel like he was like a little lost puppy dog that I felt bad for. Goes to Carolina, sucks. Goes to LA, has that one game, right? Didn't on primetime, was awesome. Nothing happened. Goes to Tampa Bay. Everyone's writing them off this season, including me early in the offseason. I was like, yeah, they're going to be bad. As the season's gotten closer, I've been more like, I don't know. They still got some weapons. If Baker can play well, they can do something. Nothing crazy, but they can do something. And they showed it yesterday, beating the Vikings, who are a good team. Justin Jefferson went off. Kirk's fine. I don't know. They got some things to deal with, though, for sure. But I'm really happy to see Baker and the Buccaneers do this. This is kind of fun, unexpected, and it's going to be an interesting storyline to watch going forward.
Yeah, and they're in a division where they're able to win it with only 7 wins, potentially 8 wins. Like they don't even have to go 500 potentially in this division to win it and make the playoffs and host a playoff game. So
yeah,
good for Baker, good for the Bucks. Post Tom Brady era, it's going to be weird. The next gross game we had, Saints versus Titans in the Superdome. Ryan Tannehill, you better learn Canadian, buddy.
Yeah,
17-16
get ready.
Win for Derek Carr. The Derek Carr era has begun in New Orleans. Alvin Kamara's out, suspension. 17-16, awfully gross. Ryan Tannehill, I think, threw 3 picks.
Yeah.
Good riddance, buddy. Good riddance.
Yeah, I don't know when I said this exactly, but on an episode sometime I was like, Tennessee's bad. They're not good. Ryan Tannehill's out of there middle of the season. It's going to be Malik Willis time. We might be seeing Malik Willis in the next few weeks. I think keep this up, buddy, and Malik Willis is taking your fucking job.
Yeah, I think if Tannehill comes in next week and isn't just lights out, like something odd, like blatant changes, like something like, and he's playing very well in the first half. I think the second half of next week's Titans game, if he keeps this up, but I don't think it'll be Malik. I think they put Levis in. I think they put.
I don't think it'll be Levis.
They didn't even dress Levis. This week.
He was inactive.
He wasn't even dressed. He was inactive.
I understand. But he's their guy. I think we've seen what we've seen from Malik Willis too. I don't think he's the man at all. I think he's pretty fucking bad, if we're being honest. He was a 3rd round pick. Not much to expect. I think Levis gets a start pretty soon.
I don't think so. I think from everything that they've been saying, like Malik Willis was head and shoulders above Levis, like in preseason and training camp. So I don't know why they would.
Yeah.
Unless Levis just makes an insane jump the next few weeks in practice.
Very true. And anything could happen. And they also didn't give Derrick Henry the ball 20 times, which I thought was interesting. He had like 68 yards with 16 carries, something like that. So he's doing well, averaging 4.7 yards per carry. Exactly what you would expect, but they just didn't give him the ball enough. And obviously 3 picks takes away from his carries because he turned the ball over. But
worse.
Yeah, Titans stink. Derek Carr threw for like 335 yards and a touchdown and a pick. He didn't look like great, but when you look at the stats and you get a W,
Not bad.
not a bad debut.
Not bad. Pretty
If
solid.
you're a Saints fan, you take that every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
but that's
actually,
not going to win the
I don't know
division.
because our NFL group chat, our Saints fans were complaining tirelessly throughout the entire game.
They were
And
like,
they ended up winning.
all right. I hope they see this because I will clip it and send it to them. They were like, "Why is it always us? Why is bad things always happen to the New Orleans Saints?" I'm like, "You shut up."
They won a Super Bowl, and
I'm like, "You won a Super Bowl in your lifetime, so shut up." Also, not too long ago, they were in the just the NFC Championship game, just always in the playoffs with Drew Brees. Hey, that's what happens when you lose your franchise quarterback. I would know, dude. All right, fuck off, dude.
Quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good win for the Saints.
Yeah, good one. Congrats.
49ers versus Steelers. Steelers, ... That's what I wrote down. I might have been wrong about San Fran, where I was iffy on their over-under 10.5 wins. 49ers look good as hell. Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy looked steady as always. The defense was nuts. 49ers good as fuck.
Yeah, I really think I like the Steelers still this year. I still think they're 9-10 wins. But I think this game's more about the 49ers than anything. Like 49ers just look maybe the most complete team in the NFL right now.
Yeah, they do.
They're really fucking good.
Kenny Pickett did not look good either.
Kenny Pickett did not look
good. You're playing that defense, I get it, but not great.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett looked really, really bad. Also, Brock Purdy was kind of the wild card, right? Going into the season for the Niners. It was like, if Brock Purdy can be good, the whole team, the sky's the limit for that team. He looks phenomenal. And so does Brandon Ayuk. That connection is great. I think the Niners have easily made a statement. They're the best team in the league, and also by far the best team in the NFC East. Not that maybe not by far. The Eagles are good, but the Eagles are also yesterday. I know it's week 1, struggling with the Patriots team, who a lot of people didn't have much hope in, honestly, especially in their division. But the Eagles are still good. But I think right now, if the Niners were to play the Eagles in the NFC Championship, I would take the Niners.
Yeah, it'd be hard to bet against them right now. But San Fran looked great. Pittsburgh looked stinky. But they're a Mike Tomlin coach team. I think they're going to be just fine. It was
They'll
week
figure
1.
it out.
That's one disclaimer I want to put in before we get to the rest of these games. It's week 1. Overreactions are not necessarily needed right now because no one really knows what their team's like until probably week 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think week 5 is when you can start being like, okay, San Fran, Philly, the Chiefs, whoever, okay, that's the best team. I can confidently say that, and then we move on throughout the rest of the season. But it's week 1, so don't get too down on yourself, Steelers fans. It's going to be all right.
Yeah.
The Commanders and Cardinals played a game today or Sunday. They played football.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
That's what you could call that. I think that's what you call that. So the Commanders walked away with a 20-16 win.
Yeah.
I said that was a football game, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote down on my note.
Kind of.
Also,
it was on Red Zone. It was on Red Zone.
I don't think the Commanders are trash.
Right.
I think the Cardinals. Yeah, I think the Cardinals they're obviously bad, but they got some guys on that defense that can do stuff, and I think Sam Howell is going to be pretty average this year, which is good for them. That's like, I think Sam Howell will be just okay enough for them to win some ball games. I really do. I think the Commanders could come out like with 8 or 9 wins this year. Honestly, I really do.
I don't think so.
With Sam, I think so. I think going forward, they have some guys, and if Sam Howell can continue to make plays with his legs like he did yesterday a little bit, and just be okay, they can win some games.
Sure, whatever. Commanders good defense. They can win some games. Sam Howell probably can win a game or 2. He's not the worst, but he's also not good.
He's very middle of the pack, maybe a little bit below average. But if he can play to that level, they're fine.
They're in a hard division too. That's the only problem with 8 and 9 wins.
That is true.
Before we get into the afternoon slate, let's give a little shout out to Sweet Green. Sweet Green, use code Apollo HOU5 for $5 off your first order on the mobile app. We love our friends at Sweet Green. The what was it? The Chipotle bowl they had a few months ago was incredible. The hot honey chicken bowl is a go-to.
Fucking favorite thing to eat. I love that.
They came out with an elotes bowl just about a month ago. So if you're a Texan, you love elotes. So go get that elote bowl. Sweet
Yeah.
Green. Use code Apollo HOU5 for $5 off your first order.
Do it.
All right. Afternoon slate.
You know who
Beans or
needs?
good?
Let me start this one off.
Go for it.
There's a team who could use some sweet green. They need to get some greens, some proteins, some good nutrition in their bodies because they were not ready to play, and that is the Seattle Seahawks.
Woo.
They sucked dick yesterday, dude. They were bad, and I've been saying it. I know it's week one.
Well, yeah,
have.
week 1, bro.
I
We just talked
understand.
about
I
that.
get it. It's week one. It's overreaction Monday.
Just like if I went, oh, the Bengals are bad, dude.
No,
Not
but it's
bad.
different. It's different. They have more proven players. The Seattle Seahawks team, everyone's with, ooh, their training camp so good. Geno this, Geno that, Jackson Smith and Jigba. I get it. I get some of the hype. I don't get the Geno hype, but I get it. They look bad. They look bad. They look like the team that they're, to be honest, supposed to be. That's what they look like to me yesterday. Also, bounce back from the Rams is nice too. I don't know if the Seahawks are just that bad or they're figuring it out over there, but the Seahawks need some sweet green in their body.
What if the Rams are just really good?
That's possible. That is very possible. Matt Stafford threw for like 300 some yards.
I wrote down, so Rams won the game 30-13 in Seattle, marched up there. Sean McVay laid his nuts on Pete Carroll's forehead. I wrote down, I need to issue a formal apology to Sean McVay. What a performance. What a performance from the coaching staff. Matthew Stafford. I don't think Matthew Stafford threw a touchdown yesterday, but he didn't have to.
No, but he was efficient. He was pretty efficient.
He was over 300 yards. He looked good. The shoulder looked like it was still attached, which was a big question mark I had going into the season with the Rams. So, yeah, Rams, hell of a game on the road to open the season against the Seahawks team that a lot of people, including myself, were very much in on and had very high expectations for. Week 1, grain of salt, you get it. But Rams 30-13, that's not like a touchdown game. That's an ass whooping. That's an ass whipping.
It doesn't feel very fluky to me.
I still like the Seahawks this year. They have a lot to clean up, but I don't like them as much if the Rams are like this, because we were all expecting the Rams Cardinals to be pretty bad, 49ers to be the best of that division. Seahawks right there, right behind or a few games behind the 49ers. But if the Rams are this good, they're going to make it interesting. They're going to make it very interesting in that division.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. Cooper Kupp is not even playing yet. When Cooper Kupp comes back and if he's healthy, shit, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Gross. Packers, Bears, same old, same old. Jordan Love's first game as the new guy. 38-20. Packers just walk into Chicago and Justin Fields looks like ass again.
I can't believe it.
Same old is what I wrote down.
Why do people? Why did anyone think Justin Fields?
I just can't even believe people were like, "Oh, the Bears are good. The Bears are solid. Justin Fields is solid player." And it's like, what? What has he ever done to be like that guy? Nothing.
Ohio State starting quarterbacks in the NFL. They're really good, huh?
All right, knock it off.
Stop.
Sorry. I wrote down same old Bears fans seeing ghosts in my blog.
Bears fans are seeing ghosts. And also, Jordan Love was like one of the more interesting storylines for me going into yesterday. He did not disappoint, man. 3 touchdowns, but how many yards? Maybe like 280, something like that.
He looked good.
Yeah, he looked good. And the Packers, look, here's the deal. If Jordan Love is good, like damn good, kind of like how he looked yesterday, the Packers have absolutely formed the formula for quarterback play in the league, and teams are going to follow suit if Jordan Love.
I just never want to hear a Packers fan fucking weep ever again if Jordan Love's good.
No,
I just never want to hear that again.
So gross. Raiders versus Broncos, big rivalry game. Raiders walk away with the win, 17-16. Another close one, another gross one.
This was a gross.
Russell Wilson, you may just stink.
Yeah. Russell Wilson, you are under surveillance. That we are now saying that maybe he might get benched this year.
I don't even know. I think
he was saying he might get benched.
He was under surveillance last year. He's getting locked up. This
continues to be under surveillance.
Yeah.
Are we on fraud watch with Russell Wilson?
Look, I hate to call him a fraud because he's done so many good things in the league.
He did win a Super Bowl. But.
Washed watch.
You won it 10 years ago, dude.
Not fraud watch. Washed watch. He's washed.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, gross game. 17-16. Jimmy Garoppolo, he just wins these kinds of games. That's what he does. If the Raiders can be in this position, they might win some games. I don't know.
That's my thing about Jimmy. He just knows how to win. He's not a great quarterback by any means, but he just knows how to put together a win.
Yeah, congrats, Jimmy and the Raiders to winning one of their 6 or 7 games this year. So
yeah, Jimmy. I mean, 200 yards. 200 yards is a little low, obviously. 2 touchdowns though, and a pick. I mean, I don't hate that. Jacoby Myers had a good game too.
It was enough to win the game. That's all he had to do. 17-16. Eagles Patriots, another good game. Eagles got out to a 16-0 lead in the first quarter. I wrote down, I don't know what to take away from this game.
Yeah.
Was it that the Eagles aren't as good as they were last year, or are the Patriots better than we were expecting? Eagles walked away with the win 25-20 in New England. Tom Brady was there. It was kind of awkward, weird.
Was weird.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was going to
happen in the press box. I think Brady's getting honored next week on Sunday Night Football against the Dolphins after retiring. So I guess he's just spending 2 weeks up in New England. But yeah, I couldn't tell if the Eagles are not as good as last year because it looked like they were just going to rout the Patriots in the first quarter. And then the Patriots come back. It was like a fake comeback. Mac threw a pick six, whatever. I don't know. Yeah. It's fun, at least.
I think, and I mean, the Patriots, they're not the best in the division, not even the second best in the division. They might not be third best in the division. But
that's very true.
I mean, they're still the Patriots. They still have Bill Belichick. They still have a really good defense. They don't have a lot of firepower in offense, but Mac Jones has shown that he's a Pro Bowl quarterback. He's been in the Pro Bowl before. Like, he's done things. He's been to the playoffs before. You know, they're not going to be blowing the doors off this season or anything, but they're not trash. They're not trash. Patriots, not trash.
I kind of was going into this game thinking the Patriots were kind of not trash, but not them at all. And then they started slow. That offense started slow. Mac Jones didn't look good at all at the beginning of that game. He impressed the hell out of me, though. 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, a pick you don't like to see. But they made it a game, and they really impressed me. And also, I think you asked, is it the Eagles aren't as good or the Patriots better? I think it's a little bit of both. I think the Eagles definitely aren't going to be as good as they were last year. They lost some pieces. They brought back some guys, though, too, which is great, but they lost some pieces. I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year, and I think the Patriots are just going to be better. They brought in Bill O'Brien. You don't have Matt Patricia calling plays anymore. There's some things to like about this Patriots team. So I think it's a little bit of both, and that was an interesting game.
It was definitely interesting. The Eagles don't have the easiest schedule in NFL history this year, like they did last season.
Yeah.
It was an interesting game. It was raining. It was gross. New England weather. Whatever. I'm still not sure it's week 1. I'm not going to take anything away from this game.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can say Eagles good. Eagles still good.
Eagles are good. Yeah.
Still a good team.
Good. Patriots fine. You know, they're still coached by Bill Belichick, and you can never discount that. Even though he's not playing the game, he is coaching the game. He is in charge of that organization. Can't take anything away from it. Boys, I want y'all to take away with the game of the week here. The best game in the afternoon slot. The best game.
What do you want
Sunday.
us to take it away, dude? Look what you're wearing.
I want y'all to lead it off. I don't know what y'all are gonna say. I have words to say, but I want y'all to take this one away real quick.
Well, the Los Angeles Chargers hosted the Miami Dolphins for a nice Sunday evening game, week 1, and it turned out to be a fucking barn burner. And Tua threw for a bazillion yards, and Tyreek caught a bazillion yards. The Dolphins won the game late in the fourth quarter. Fucking they look good. They look fucking good.
Here's the deal. We've talked about the Dolphins quite a bit with you, Tony. I know you're smiling ear to ear. We were talking about Tua. Is he going to be back? Do these concussions affect him going into this season? What's Tyreek going to do? Obviously, we expected, we had you especially, but we all had high expectations for this team. Fucking 466 yards, 3 touchdowns for Tua, 215 yards and 2 touchdowns for Tyreek. That's beyond what I thought was going to happen. I was like, Tua might crack 300, closer to 500 yards passing.
And it wouldn't be as impressive if they didn't win, but they fucking won.
They won against a good fucking Chargers team. Justin Herbert threw for 228. Tutty. Austin Eckler had a big day. Keenan Allen looks solid. But, yeah, I mean, that was a great win. Hard game.
I am now – Brandon Staley, you are under surveillance. I mean, he has been since that playoff loss, but he is under fucking surveillance.
Yes.
Can you not win big games when it matters? Is that going to be the thing? This is what sucks. The Chargers, they're kind of just like their old Charger ways.
I was about to say that they've been like that.
You know, it's fucking this whole bit. Remember that whole bit of like Philip Rivers late on a Sunday evening, fucking trying to drive and like win the game, and they don't because the other quarterback throws for a bazillion yards. That's just where it is again. That's what we're back. We're back, baby.
All right, if you're Chargers fans, hold your disappointment. I think Kellen Moore, new offensive coordinator. Offense looked incredible. It took all of the pressure off of Justin Herbert. They can run the damn ball. They had well over 200 yards rushing against the Dolphins defense, which isn't a bad defense, mind you. And they had a great rushing defense last year, and yesterday they just got blown out of the water. Austin Eckler looks great. Mike Williams got hurt in like the second quarter, but he came back, and I was like, oh, here we go. There's the injury, week 1 already there. Keenan Allen looks good, healthy. Herbert looked good, poised, dropped a bunch of dimes in the pockets of the wide receivers, had some wide open guys. The defense is completely healthy, and I need that as a keynote in this part. The defense is completely healthy. Derwin James, Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson, Joey Bosa. Everybody's there, and everybody's good.
Yep.
0 sacks. 1 interception, which was pass interference on J.C. Jackson. Would like that noted as well on Braxton Berrios in the end zone.
Right. Cope.
34 points. They scored a lot of points. That's what you want to see from your offense. Holy shit, the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Tua's looked every bit as advertised in this offseason. He bulked up. He has some zip on those throws now. He's fitting it in the angles that he hasn't been able to fit it into. He can throw on the run now. I don't know if y'all noticed that, where he's just scrambling out of the pocket, avoiding pressures, 0 sacks.
He's doing it all.
0 sacks. The only time he got hit is when the center, Connor Williams, fucked up his second snap of the drive on the opening drive of the game on the 2-yard line. Fucked up the snap, and Tua tried to fall on the ball. That's the only time Tua got hit. Only time. Offensive line, great showing.
Yeah. I mean, the Dolphins, other than giving up the 34 points to a really good offense, a really fucking good game. Really just showed, like, honestly, pulled it all out, let it all out, and you're fucking like, come get it, bitch. And they won. They're fast. They're electric. I mean, Tua might be just vaulting himself in MVP conversation.
I was just about to say that. I was going to say, I know it's Overreaction Monday. I know this and that. And Stoney, I know maybe you've been on this a little bit, but I'm going to open up my mind to this fact that Tua could be the MVP of the league this year if he keeps this up. Obviously, if he keeps this up. But like you mentioned, Tua didn't do this against some scrubs. He did this against a good, talented Chargers defense. And the Chargers, and you mentioned, let's talk to Chargers fans real quick. Chargers fans, look, don't worry.
Fuck y'all.
Don't worry. Like, the Dolphins are amazing, and y'all kept step for step with them the whole game. Chargers are going to be good. Don't worry about that. But the Dolphins, shit, man. Stoney, you got one. You got a team here. This is congratulations.
I was 3 years old the last time the Dolphins had a real quarterback for their organization. 3 years old. Dan Marino with 0 Achilles and 0 knees. He was the last quarterback we had. 1999.
Fitzpatrick.
I think we got one, boys. I think we got a quarterback.
I think you got one too, man.
Tyreek Hill. Just one more note on this. Mike McDaniel said in his press conference yesterday, we're seeing the best version of Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek came to the podium and was like, oh, yeah, I used to just get by on speed. Didn't care. Didn't really focus on any movement of the game, understanding the game or anything. Tyreek Hill looked like a completely different wide receiver yesterday, and also the exact same wide receiver. Just faster than everybody else, but technical. Route running was crisp, and he was talking shit the whole game to J.C. Jackson, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was just awesome. 15 yards, 11 catches, 2 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill, 2,000 yards, well within reach after week 1.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's on pace for like 4,000 yards right now. So
not bad. Not bad. And then last game of the day, Sunday night.
Boo.
Absolute dud. The Dallas Cowboys, they won 40-0 against the New York Giants. I wrote down WTF. The Cowboys defense.
They look
Scary as hell.
So
I mean, they were stingy. They like played mad. They played like they fucking hate the Giants, which they do, rivals. But they played like they actually had like they were personally like fuck y'all, dude. But I hated them as people. So, Daniel Jones after your new contract, you were under fucking surveillance, buddy.
Are we sure it's Daniel Jones's fault? Did we watch the offensive line?
Oh, sure, but you paid him $40 million a year.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. But
no,
yeah,
that's that's crazy.
Awful.
Like under surveillance. The whole team actually. You know what? Whole team, Giants, New York Football Giants, under surveillance. Crazy performance.
Coaching sophomore slump from Brian Daboll.
Very well could be. Or maybe last year was just a fucking fluke.
Very true.
I mean, the whole time I was like, this team is not even that good. I mean, Saquon's great. Brian Daboll, like winning on these games, fun. Daniel Jones, that's not sustainable. With the receivers, like I remember the other day, someone went Darius Slayton, Garrett. I was like, oh, really, Darius Slayton? Their best receiver is Darren Waller, bro. like he's not even a receiver. Like they are just frauds.
Yeah,
they had a fluke year last year. I mean, they don't look good.
Here's what I'm going to say though: Dallas fans are very high up on a horse right now. They're on the highest horse probably at the moment. Dak Prescott threw for 143 yards and nothing else. Not a touchdown, not a pick. Look, man, you can definitely ride a defense through the season. You could ride a good defense to the Super Bowl.
You can ride a D, dude.
You could.
Brady did it 3 times.
Cowboys fans love riding a good D.
Yeah, ride a D.
And the thing is, and that's what they're going to do this year. I hope Dax can figure it out. But he didn't impress me at all last night. And Tony Pollard though, good fucking ball player. He's a good player.
Yeah, no Kellen Moore for the Cowboys this year. So the offense is changing. Mike McCarthy, I think, is a little bit more in tune with the offense this year. So, but you didn't have to play offense yesterday because your defense scored like triple the amount of points that the Giants did.
Yeah,
because they put up 0 points. Noah Igbenogany, Miami Dolphins legend, scored his first NFL touchdown off a block punt or block kick or whatever. So good for him. Cowboys. Yeah, you can't take anything away from it because their defense did all the work for them, and we all knew their defense was going to be top 2, top 3 in the league this year. So, good win for the Cowboys. Giants, like Garrett said, under surveillance.
Dak Prescott under surveillance. I'm going to throw that out.
No, Dak. He got the win. He did what he needed to do,
but he didn't do anything. He didn't.
That's on you. Me and Garrett are on the same page here. We're not under surveillance, Dak, but you can be under Noah's surveillance.
You're under my. I'll keep an eye on him. That's what I'll say. I'll keep an eye.
I mean, I'm sitting around here scratching my ass, thinking the Cowboys have maybe the best roster in the NFL.
They could. That's.
They don't have the best coach. They don't have the bad. They don't have a bad coach. Or sorry, they have a bad coach. They don't have a good coach. But their roster, you give them a good coach, and I mean, sure, but you know what? They're fucking. If they, the Niners have they have almost an as good roster, insane coaching staff. You give the Cowboys a great coaching staff like the Niners do, that team is like they could be a dynasty.
I think the Niners roster is a little bit better, but the Cowboys probably have the second best roster in the league for sure.
I don't know. They're fucking their offensive line, everything their defensive line. I mean, I know they have Nick Bosa. Micah Parsons, you say he's the best defensive player in the league.
He is.
I mean, their corners, Stephon Gilmore, Diggs. I mean, just everything about them.
I just look at the Debo, the George Kittle, the Brock Purdy, the C-Mac, the Fred Warner. They have the Niners are stacked too. But there's an argument to be made for either team.
Last game of the week. It's been an awesome week 1. We're heading into Monday night. We're recording this Monday afternoon. It's 12:15 p.m. right now. Bills versus Jets. Aaron Rodgers' debut for Noah's New York Jets, which I have also made an executive decision that I know I said it a few episodes ago that I was going to get y'all some Dolphins hats.
Yeah.
I've decided to rescind one of those hats for Sir Noah because of how hard he's riding the Jets right now. So, Garrett, next time I see you, you will be receiving a Dolphins hat. Noah,
okay,
you're not getting shit.
I'm getting a Jets hat then. I'll get a Jets hat and wear it and watch Garrett Wilson put up 120 yards tonight and beat the Bills.
Only 120? Tyreek Hill had 215.
Hey, no one's ever said Garrett Wilson better than Tyreek. No one's ever said that.
I'll put this out there. I'll put this out there for tonight's game as a preview. if the Jets lose to the Buffalo Bills at home in the home opener on September 11th, they are under surveillance because they need to win this game.
Are you saying that they need to win for the city?
Well, also all the hype
Absolutely.
they've been getting, dude.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Look,
If they don't win this game, they start out 0-1.
okay.
It's like, wow.
Guys, listen, I don't get it at all. The Buffalo Bills are a fucking top 5 team in the league, and I think the Jets are close too. But here's the Jets are close to that too. But if the game's close, but the Bills inch it out, the Jets are not fucking under surveillance, especially if they look good as a whole.
Just
If
saying,
they
man,
look good as a whole, then and they still lose,
they've been the
fuck
clear
that.
darlings in the offseason. Hard
Dude,
knocks.
the Bills are the Bills.
I hear about
They're-
the Jets every day. Every
Dude,
single
you
day.
hear about the Bills every day.
turned on NFL Fox before the game yesterday. They were just nonstop talking about Aaron Rodgers. And I'm
you
like,
hear
he's not
about
even
the
playing
Bills
today.
all offseason
He's not
too.
even playing today. Oh, no.
Yes,
Not as much about the
not
Jets.
as much,
You
obviously.
don't.
No, not as much as the Jets, but it's because there's one offseason they made a lot of moves. Of course, people are going to talk about them. The Bills
And
are
the
still a
Bills
really
didn't
good team.
add anything.
If the fucking Bills beat the Jets tonight, I don't want to hear any bullshit. That's one of the best teams in the league.
I'll go on here. I will go up here on camera and say the Jets are going to be hype. Like their hype is going to be under surveillance. The team will be
All
under
right,
surveillance. if
fine.
they
You can
lose week one.
you can put them under your own. We just made up the rule. You can put any team under your own, anybody under your surveillance. But here's the deal:
Stoney,
if
are the Jets under surveillance if they lose tonight?
Robert Sala's under surveillance before this game even kicks off. If they lose tonight big, 10 to 14 points, 2-score game, Jets are under
sure,
surveillance.
here's the deal: if they lose by like 14, I'll give you that. I will. I'll give you. But if both teams play well and it's like a 1-score game, but the Bills pull it out, I don't want to hear any fucking bullshit about them being. I want to hear about how the Bills are a damn good football team because they are.
True.
They're Super Bowl contenders every year.
True, but we also one thing we have to talk about before if they do lose this game, how it's tough to gain. It's gonna be tough to gain traction in this division if you drop in games like that.
No doubt about it. But if they lose to the Bills, I'm not going to be like, well, they suck. Most teams in the league would lose to the Bills. And the Jets can still be good or be a really good team, but still lose to a really good Bills team. Like, I don't want to hear that. Now, if next week, I don't know who the Jets play week 2 or 3, but if they're playing average teams and losing, or if it's even close, then sure, put them under surveillance. I think it's so fucking unfair to say that the Jets are under surveillance if they lose to the Bills week 1. That's ridiculous. That's fucking insane.
After all the hype they're getting.
No, dude, that's insane. It's week 1 against the Bills. It's hard. It's a hard game for. I don't care who you are.
I just can't believe that Noah rides harder for the Jets than
I can't believe all this copium that you're taking.
What copium?
Yes, dude.
Dude, you're fucking. You just know zero ball. If you're,
I know
fucking sitting
zero
here and thinking-
ball. I was just
If
saying.
you're gonna put the Jets under surveillance for losing to the Bills week 1, yeah, no, you
Just
don't know.
because
ball.
of how much I've been hearing about
Okay,
them,
but
I would.
who cares? That's not whose fault. That's ESPN's fault. I'm sorry, but like if you just look at the roster straight up, like I'm sorry you listen to hype. Like I like sorry, the Bills are really damn good.
You don't have to apologize. It's okay.
We've
Bills are
recorded
good.
like 4 or 5 episodes together, guys, and we've talked about the Jets like probably
I know.
2/3 of the time.
It's badass.
It's awful.
It's because
It's the
the Jets are
worst.
fun, and also here's the deal, Bubba.
Oh, we're still
Can you,
going.
Can you relax? Your
Are
team
we
is
still
good.
going?
Your team is
Talking
good.
about them for 7 minutes.
Your Dolphins team's good. You don't have to worry about the Jets right now. All right.
Oh, I'm not.
There-
I'm not.
Okay. But you stop hating on the Jets so much, dude. That's like punching down. It's not cool, you know?
I'm gonna punch down on every team in the league after the Dolphins win the Lombardi. Anyway,
fine.
off the gridiron, the first week of the season is in the books, except for Monday night, which doesn't really matter, obviously, like we just talked about for 7 minutes.
Mhm.
Off the gridiron, Apollo's NFL show, brought to you by Sweet Green. Use a code Apollo HOU5 for $5 off your first order. Football, I'm so thankful that you're back. Just my butt's not, because my butt probably is going to have sores after this weekend where I just sat on it for the
I missed
entirety of it.
you. I missed you, football.
Missed you so much.
Football's
And having
back,
to deal
boys.
with baseball. Baseball's fun and all, but not that much baseball. Let's go. We finally got something else.
Just, I'm so thankful football's back, boys.
Me
So,
too.
Off the Gridiron, brought to you by Apollo Media. Hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. If you're not, go ahead and head to our YouTube. We got plenty of good podcasts. We got plenty of good content. Check out Super Baked Sports, brought to you by Eighth Wonder Brewery and Bayou City Hemp.
Please.
It's a delightful story that y'all told about Astro Man. So
Yeah.
It's
go
very
check out
nice.
the YouTube. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you're listening to this podcast. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Tell us about how much you hate the Jets. And I'm going to end every podcast like that. So
We're
off
not
the
gonna-
gridiron, boys, football.
Football.
Football. Watch football.
Watch it.
There it is.
Watch
Love
the
you guys.
Jets.
God, that fucking what the fuck? See.